Right now, there's a part of you that's tired of trying so hard to deserve what you want. You've been holding life like it's something you must wrestle into place, and you can feel the strain in the small places. Your shoulders when you wake, your breath when you check your phone, the way your mind stays slightly on guard even when nothing is happening. And I want to offer you a gentle truth that can change the way you live. You don't have to force abundance. You can become a place where it can safely arrive. So let's begin with the simplest doorway. Not tomorrow, not when you have more time, right now. Let your attention settle on your breath. Notice it without fixing it, and then invite it to soften just a little, as if you're letting warm air into a room that's been closed up for too long. Inhale through your nose, slow and steady. Exhale longer than you inhale. That longer exhale is your body's way of saying, I'm safe enough to let go. Now place one hand on your heart. If it feels good, place the other hand on your lower belly. Feel the warmth of your palms. Feel the steady truth that you are here, breathing, present. And quietly, in your own mind, say, I am willing to receive. Say it again, slower, as if you're speaking to the most tender part of you. I am willing to receive. Notice what rises. Maybe there's relief. Maybe there's doubt. Maybe there's a little tightening, like a door that hasn't been opened in a while. Whatever you feel, let it be here. You're not doing it wrong. You're simply meeting yourself honestly. When I speak of divine abundance and grace, I'm not speaking about a magical prize for people who never struggle. I'm speaking about an inner alignment that allows life support to move through you more easily. Abundance can show up as opportunities, resources, helpful people, fresh ideas, and also as something quieter, peace, clarity, enoughness. As grace is the feeling that you are not doing everything alone, that something larger than your fear can hold you when you soften. And becoming a vessel is not about becoming perfect. A vessel is simply open, steady, and willing. Imagine a bowl sitting in the rain. The bowl doesn't chase the clouds. It doesn't beg the sky. It doesn't argue with the weather. It simply remains open. And because it is open, it receives. You can live like that, not passive, not helpless, open. Now, many people hear this and think, but I've tried to be open and nothing changed. If you felt that, I want to bring you a compassionate perspective. Sometimes the issue is not your effort. Sometimes the issue is your nervous system. If your body learned that receiving is unsafe because it came with strings, guilt, disappointment, or sudden loss, then your system may close the door the moment something good approaches, not because you're negative, but because you're protecting yourself. So we begin by making receiving feel safe. Keep your hand on your heart. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. And imagine just above the crown of your head a soft, warm light. Not blinding, not dramatic, more like sunrise, steady, patient, kind. Let that light represent support, grace, guidance, life's willingness to meet you. On your next inhale, imagine that light pouring gently into the top of your head like warm water. It flows into your forehead and smooths the crease of worry. It flows into your eyes and softens your gaze. It flows into your throat and relaxes the need to over-explain, over-perform, over-prove. It flows into your chest and warms the space behind your heart, the place that has been trying to do everything alone. And here is the key. You don't clench around this light. You let it move through you. A vessel is not a vault. A vessel is a channel. So let the light keep flowing down into your belly, your hips, your legs, your feet. Feel yourself grounded. Feel yourself held. Imagine the light continuing out through your feet into the earth like a gentle stream returning home, open above, grounded below, steady in the middle. Now say, I am open and I am safe. Again, I am open and I am safe. If tears come, let them. Sometimes tears are the body's way of unclenching. Sometimes they are the heart releasing what it has been carrying. Now let me name something that's more common than you think. Some people don't struggle to receive because they doubt abundance exists. They struggle because they doubt they deserve it. They carry a quiet belief that says, good things are for other people, or if I receive, I'll lose it, or if I receive, I'll owe something, and I'm already tired. So let's meet that belief with tenderness. If a child came to you and said, I don't deserve kindness, you would not argue with them harshly. You would kneel down. You would soften your voice. You would say, oh, sweetheart, you don't have to earn love. You can speak to yourself like that. Right now, tell yourself, I don't have to earn love. And then I am allowed to be supported. Let those sentences land slowly, like leaves settling on still water. Here's what's interesting about worthiness. It's not something you achieve, it's something you remember. Flowers don't bloom because they passed a test. They bloom because that is what life does when it's nourished. The sun does not ask the field if it deserves light. It simply shines. And you are part of that same life. Now let's bring this into real moments, because your life is not lived in a meditation. It's lived in conversations, decisions, bills, relationships, and long, quiet nights. Perhaps you've experienced this. Someone offers you something kind, help, a compliment, a favor, and your first instinct is to push it away. You say, oh, it's fine, or you don't need to, or it was nothing. And in that moment, you think you're being polite. But what you're really doing is practicing not receiving. Imagine a woman who has been the strong one for years. She remembers everyone's needs. She carries the invisible load. People rely on her, and she's proud of that. Then one day her friend says, let me bring dinner. Let me sit with you. The woman smiles, but inside she panics. Receiving feels like stepping onto a bridge she isn't sure will hold. She's afraid that if she accepts, she'll be a burden. She's afraid she'll owe something. She's afraid she'll cry and not be able to stop. So she says, "No, I'm fine," even though she's not. If you have ever been that woman or that kind of person, please hear this. Your need does not make you unworthy. Your need makes you human, and you are allowed to be cared for. Receiving is a skill, and like any skill, it begins with small, safe practice. So here is one of the most powerful abundance practices you can do. The next time someone gives you a compliment, pause, breathe, and simply say thank you. Not quickly, not nervously. Let it be full, let it be a doorway. Your body learns through repetition. Every time you receive something small without flinching, you widen the channel for bigger things. Now, another reason people struggle to receive is because they've been trying to force outcomes. They're pushing on life like it's a locked door, and the pushing becomes their identity. If you've been living like that, you may feel guilty when you rest. You may feel anxious when you're not doing. You may feel like you have to control every detail or everything will collapse. But consider this: a clenched fist cannot hold water. The tighter you clench, the more you lose. Relaxation is not giving up. Relaxation is making room. Perhaps you've had this experience. You work, plan, push, and nothing moves. Then one day, you finally stop. Maybe out of exhaustion, maybe out of surrender. You take a slow walk. You do the dishes. You stare out a window. And suddenly, an idea arrives. A message comes in. A conversation opens. Something that wouldn't budge suddenly shifts, and you wonder, why now? Often it's because you created space for grace to enter. Life loves space. Grace rarely arrives with fireworks. It arrives in ordinary clothes, a kind stranger, a perfectly timed invitation. A simple idea that feels like a quiet click inside you. If you're always scanning for Dan, jeer, you miss grace because it doesn't scream, it whispers. So here is a practice for clearing inner static. As you inhale, silently say, "I choose presence." As you exhale, silently say, "I release pressure." Again. Inhale, "I choose presence." Exhale, "I release pressure." Do that whenever you feel yourself rushing, gripping, spiraling. You are teaching your body that it does not have to earn its right to relax. You are teaching your energy to settle into steadiness. And steadiness is magnetic. Now let's talk about abundance without making it a stressful idea. Abundance is not always more. Abundance is right relationship. It's the feeling that you are in harmony with yourself and with life. Sometimes abundance looks like increased resources. Sometimes it looks like a new path. Sometimes it looks like a supportive person. Sometimes it looks like rest that finally feels guilt-free. Sometimes it looks like your mind becoming quiet enough to hear your own wisdom. So if you've been measuring abundance only by external proof, consider expanding the definition. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to be supported today? Not in a fantasy, in a real, grounded way. And then listen for the smallest answer. Maybe it's drinking water before coffee. Maybe it's saying no to one draining obligation. Maybe it's cleaning one corner of your space so your mind can breathe. Maybe it's taking a shower like a ritual instead of a rush. Maybe it's letting yourself go to bed earlier. These small acts are not trivial. They are signals. They tell your subconscious, I can receive support. Your subconscious is like a devoted assistant. It follows the instructions it has been given. If it has been instructed through years of repetition that life is unsafe, love is conditional, and receiving leads to disappointment, it will try to protect you by blocking the very things you desire, not because you're broken, but because it's doing its job. So we give it new instructions, gently, consistently, like watering a plant. Here are a few phrases you can try on, like soft clothing. Choose the ones that feel believable. It is safe for me to receive support. I can handle good things. I trust myself with blessings. I am learning to expect kindness. Life can meet me halfway. Say them slowly, like you're speaking to a younger part of you, because sometimes the part that resists is young. It learned to be cautious early, and it needs love, not pressure. Now, I want to speak about emotions, because this is where many people get confused. They think, if I feel sad, I'm blocking abundance. No, you are allowed to have feelings. You are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to be tired. A vessel is not a smiling mask. A vessel is a real, tender human being who can feel and still stay open to good. Think of the ocean. The ocean isn't ashamed of its waves. It doesn't call the storm a failure. It moves, it releases, and then it settles. You can let emotions move through you like weather passing through the sky. You can say, I feel this, and then I am still here, and then I am still open to support. In fact, when you let feelings move, you create space, and space is where grace lands. Here is a scenario that might feel familiar. Imagine you finally get something you wanted, an opportunity, a relationship shift, a creative opening, and instead of celebrating, your mind immediately says, what if I mess it up? Or, what if they realize I'm not enough? That urgent, shaming voice is not guidance. It is conditioning. Guidance feels calm. Conditioning feels frantic. So when that frantic voice appears, place your hand on your heart and say, thank you for trying to protect me. I am safe now. And then I choose a kinder story. This is not pretending. This is leadership. This is you choosing which voice gets the microphone in your life. Now, let's bring in the idea of grace as guidance. Grace often shows up as a gentle nudge. It doesn't bully you. It doesn't threaten you. It doesn't rush you. It feels like a steady hand on your back saying, this way. It might be the desire to rest. It might be the urge to reach out to someone. It might be the curiosity to learn something new. It might be a sudden knowing to simplify, to declutter, to forgive, to begin again. And sometimes grace is an ending, a door closing that saves you from a path that would have drained you, a relationship shifting so you can return to yourself, a plan dissolving so something truer can take shape. Even then, grace is still grace. It is life guiding you toward what nourishes you, even when your mind doesn't understand it yet. Now, there is a subtle trap that people fall into when they want abundance. They try to control the universe with tension. They check constantly. They compare constantly. They overthink every sign. They replay every conversation. They turn spiritual practice into pressure. Imagine someone who is trying so hard to manifest that they can't breathe. They refresh their inbox. They scroll until their eyes ache. They obsess over timing. They talk themselves out of rest. They tell themselves they must be better before life can give. And underneath all of it is a fear that says, if I stop pushing, nothing will happen. Then one evening, they do something different. They light a candle, they sit down, they take 3 slow breaths, and they say, I release the need to control every outcome. I open to the best next step. They don't do it as a performance. They do it because their soul is tired. And in the quiet that follows, they notice something. Their body softens. Their mind clears. They realize the next step is simple. Send one message, apply to one thing, ask for one piece of help, take one small action, not from panic, from steadiness. And that steadiness becomes the bridge. So yes, you still take action, but you take action from alignment, not desperation, from openness, not fear, from trust, not proving. Now I want to offer you a practice for nighttime, because the hours before sleep can be a powerful time to repattern the subconscious, not with force, with gentleness. As you lie down, let your body sink into the bed as if the bed is the earth receiving you. Let your shoulders melt. Let your tongue rest. Let your forehead smooth out. Take 3 slow breaths. On the first inhale, say, I release today. On the exhale, I let it be complete. On the second inhale, say, I forgive myself. On the exhale, I soften into love. On the third inhale, say, I open to grace. On the exhale, I allow support. Now imagine your heart as a cup that can be filled without strain. Imagine that warm golden light returning, but now it's even softer, like a blanket of warmth. See it filling your heart cup. And as it fills, notice if you want to rush it. Notice if you want to control it. And then practice allowing. Let it fill at its own pace. Then in your mind, offer one simple invitation. Show me the next gentle step. Not the whole plan, not a guarantee, just the next gentle step. And then rest. Let your system learn that receiving can happen while you are relaxed. Let your body learn that it can be held. In the coming days, you may notice subtle shifts. You may notice you're less reactive. You may notice you're more willing to accept help. You may notice you're less drawn to what drains you. You may notice a new patience with yourself. These shifts matter. They are evidence of a new relationship with life. Now let's touch the shadow with kindness, because it belongs here too. Sometimes we fear abundance because it would change who we are. It would ask us to release familiar struggle. It would require us to be seen. It might bring responsibility. It might bring choices we can't avoid. So if fear arises, don't shame it. Just name it. You can say, "It is safe for me to grow. It is safe for my life to expand. It is safe for me to be seen and still be loved. It is safe for me to receive and still be myself." And if those feel too big, make them smaller. Try. I am open to a little more ease. I am open to a little more support. I am open to a little more kindness. Small openings become wide doors. Here is another story you may recognize. Perhaps you've watched someone who seems to receive opportunities more easily, and you assume they're just lucky. But often what you're seeing is not luck. It's receptivity. They ask questions. They follow nudges. They accept help. They let themselves rest. They don't shame themselves for needing support. They treat themselves like someone worth taking care of. And because they do, their energy becomes a clear invitation. You can learn that. It is learnable. Your life is a riverbed, and the river wants to flow. Your job is not to drag the river. Your job is to remove the stones that block it. Those stones are often self-criticism, constant comparison, and the belief that you must suffer to deserve. So choose one stone to soften today, just one. Maybe it's the habit of calling yourself names when you make a mistake. Replace it with one kind sentence. I am learning. Maybe it's the habit of saying yes when you mean no. Replace it with one boundary. That doesn't work for me. Maybe it's the habit of neglecting your body until it aches. Replace it with one act of care. Water, rest, food, breath. When you do that, you widen the channel. And widening the channel is real spiritual work. Now, I want you to feel your heart agata ein. Imagine it like a flower bud. It doesn't explode open. It opens when the conditions are right. Warmth, water, patience. Give it warmth with your words. Give it water with your breath. Give it patience with your gentleness. Say, dear heart, you are safe with me. And then I welcome support with an easy heart. Now, if you ever feel yourself slipping into fear, use this quick reset. Pause. Feel your feet. Inhale slowly. Exhale longer. Then say, I return to trust. Again, I return to trust. This is not ignoring reality. This is choosing your center. And one more gentle practice. When something small goes right, a green light when you were late, a soothing song at the perfect moment, a friend checking in. Let yourself notice it. Let it count. Say, thank you. Not as superstition, but as recognition. Gratitude is like turning your face toward the sun. It doesn't force the sun to shine. It simply helps you feel the warmth that is already there. This is how you train your mind to expect support and your body to relax into receiving. And now, let me give you affirmations that are simple, believable, and steady. You can repeat them quietly in the shower, on a walk, before sleep, or whenever you need a soft reminder. I am willing to receive. I am open and I am safe. I am worthy of support. I trust myself with good things. I allow life to help me. I release pressure. I welcome grace. I am guided toward what nourishes me. Let those words settle into you. And as we close, imagine yourself as a beautiful bowl held in two hands. The hands are life itself, steady, patient, loving. You don't have to grip. You don't have to prove. You simply allow yourself to be held. You are becoming a vessel for divine abundance and grace right now, each time you choose softness over strain. Each time you choose kindness over criticism. Each time you choose trust over tension. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's not forcing. It's allowing. Take one more breath with me. Inhale, receiving. Exhale, releasing. And quietly, confidently let yourself know, I am supported, I am guided, I am worthy, and I am allowed to let good things find me